Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be doing another example with completing the square. So, just like last time, our first step is to look at my b value. My b value is equal to -6. And now we're going to take half of that. So half of b, half of -6 is equal to -3. And now, lastly, I'm going to take my b over 2 and square it to get -3 squared, which is equal to 9. Alright, now I'm going to go back into my original problem, x squared minus 6x minus 1 equals -1. And I'm going to write it like this: x squared minus 6x, leave myself a little bit of room, equals -1. And, well, hopefully you can already figure this out, but I'm going to add 9 to both sides. So plus 9 plus 9. Alright, what does that get us? Well, x squared minus 6x plus 9 is the same thing as x minus 3 squared. We have that is equal to, well, -1 plus 9 is 8. Now I'm going to take the square root on both sides. So take the square root on both sides. The square root of x minus 3 squared is just x minus 3. And the square root of 8, well, we can look at that like this. Square root of 4 times 2. And from your radicals little homework assignment you did, you should know that, well, if I have a 4 here, then I can rewrite this as 2. We're bringing the 4 out like that since it's a perfect square. We have 2 square root of 2. And don't forget plus or minus. And then over here we still have x minus 3. Okay, so now what I have to do is, since it's plus square root, or 2 square root of 2, or minus 2 square root of 2, I have to account for both of that. So I'm going to do the following. On one side, I'm going to do x minus 3 equals 2 square root of 2. And over here, I'm going to do x minus 3 equals -2 square root of 2. Alright, now I can add 3 to both sides. Over here, I'm going to get x equals 2 square root of 2 plus 3. And that will be one of my solutions. My other solution, again, add 3 to both sides. I'm going to get x equals -2 square root of 2 plus 3. And this will be my other solution. So now we should end up getting some answers that might have square roots in them. That's a-okay. For now, we're just going to leave them as square roots. In the future, start getting get comfortable with the idea of writing them as decimals. You might want to round to the tens place, but we might ask you on a homework problem or on a test to write it as in radical form, which means leave it as square root, or we might ask you to write it as a decimal. So just something to keep an eye out for.